Welcome to Daytona International Speedway and Daytona 500 final practice. Brought to you by Toyota. Final tune-up, not just for the Daytona 500, but for all of 2026 for these drafting tracks. This is the last chance at practice. So, you know, a lot of opportunity here, a lot in the offing. However, some of the drivers are no closer to the racetrack than the turnstile at the Orlando theme parks, yet others are ready to go. A lot of different agendas.
There are a lot of different agendas, but I like this practice. I like the fact that there are some guys that are going to be on the racetrack. I think that we saw some of those handling issues in the races the other night, and I think that when the sun is out and the temperature's up tomorrow, I think you're going to want to collect some of that data. And like you said, sometimes you need a little bit of speed. Well, you don't have another chance to find any of the hot buttons to make these cars go faster than you do right now because you've got no more practice at the super speedways.
Well, and obviously some of them are, you know, different scenarios with a backup car. You know, I want to go out there and feel this thing out and make sure there's nothing, you know, nothing going to come loose or the mirror's right, all those different things and scenarios that you need to have right for the you know, the race tomorrow. This is your last chance. But it's been a beautiful day, fun day of racing, watching that ARCA race. And, you know, again, it's always good if you have a practice session. I want to be out on that racetrack. If there's something to be learned, I want to learn it.
All right, Larry Mack, what are we going to see in this next 50 minutes?
Well, Mike, I think I talked to all 41 crew chiefs in the garage area, and you're right, agendas all over the place. The only Toyota driver you're going to see out there is Jimmy Johnson. You're going to see a lot of the Fords. You're going to see a lot of the Chevrolets. As you mentioned, a chance to find some speed for the final time in a practice at a speedway, even some single car runs, and a lot of people are just going to work on getting on and off pit road. One agenda has nothing to do with the racetrack. I want you to look at this line of cars. And about 30 minutes ago, that line was even longer. What these teams are trying to do is dot every I and cross every T for inspection. Now, this is not the inspection for the race. This is just checking things out. They want to make sure they don't give up anything when they come through tomorrow for that final inspection before the Daytona 500. Jamie?
And William Byron just walking out, getting ready to get into his car. You look good. I love the red, white, and blue for this year. Unfortunately, it's a red, white, and blue backup car, but you had a chance to check it out yesterday. You're going out again. What do you think so far?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I told my guys it felt just like the primary car. I mean, the guys back at Hendrick Motorsports in the shop worked extremely hard overnight on Thursday night into Friday morning, and just feels identical, honestly. So big credit to them, and yeah, I couldn't really tell any differences. So worked on a couple things yesterday, just trying to get handling off of both ends of the corners, and yeah, I think it's going to be good. Our Raptor Chevy was quick on Thursday night and really stable. Like the new Chevy has been really stable for me, so that makes me really confident for tomorrow.
Going for a three-peat, but what is the agenda here in this final practice before tomorrow's big race?
Yeah, I think it's just try to honestly just run the car out of fuel maybe and just simulate some things there so we kind of understand the cadence of that, but it's really not a whole lot for us. I mean, we don't want to draft too much. We got a good feel yesterday with all of our Chevy guys, and yeah, not a whole lot for us on the agenda for sure.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Have a good practice. Mike?
Well, that's certainly dangerous for the competition. I heard him say the cars are really stable. That means they handle well, comfortable in traffic and things like that. And with this new body, Kevin, that was the unknown. Obviously, the attention, the focus was to try to make that better. But over the years, thinking back even, you know, 2 or 3, 4 years ago, when Hendrick was really fast sitting on the poles, they get out there and they were kind of a dart without feathers. They have perfected that and moved this direction with some more grip in the race cars over the years. And obviously, it has paid off with those 2 wins for Byron, but even more so with a new body again this year.
Well, the other interesting thing that I heard from William Byron is the fact that they want to run the car out of fuel. Make sure that they know exactly how much fuel they can pull out of that tank. And when he talks about the processes, how far on his little switch can he go with the reserve? It won't go as far as it did a couple of years ago, so you got to be able to get the car back to pit road. And when he talks about that cadence, and they are spending the time to cover those details in case they get into that situation.
And that science is much more refined than it was before. With all the data that they have on the cars, they know exactly how much his throttle is, the position, how much they're saving, the lap times, all that stuff. So you're right, when that thing runs out of gas, just is there anything left in it? Because that's going to be the last, say in it.
I like what Chase Elliott's doing here. He's going to school on the Fords from RFK and Team Penske. A number of drivers I spoke to said Fords seem to have the speed among the three makes, and they seem to have the discipline to line up and go together from what we saw on Thursday. So to find out how your car works amongst them, if you're in a Chevy or Toyota, that's got to be pretty valuable info.
Well, I'm not sure that he got the invitation to be in there,
no.
But he is definitely in there, and I think that the Fords, they've definitely done a good job, but still a little concerned.
It's the biggest line too, guys. That's without a doubt. If you're trying to work on handling, that's exactly where you want to be. Get out there, find the biggest line, whether it doesn't matter the manufacturer. I'm trying to see what my car is going to do in dirty air.
But the Fords, we noticed Ryan Blaney's hands and having to turn a little bit right getting into the corner. Talking to Joey Logano last night, little up on top of the racetrack more than they expected. So there are definitely some handling concerns and they will creep up more tomorrow because of the weather being a little bit warmer, and the pack is going to be a lot bigger. The momentum of that pack, the momentum of the runs, everything that happens tomorrow will be a little bit faster than everything they've experienced so far this week.
Now let's talk about the weather, because it is playing an important role here in Daytona. If you've not already heard, everything tomorrow has been moved up 1 hour because of the threat of evening rain. A great decision by the Speedway in conjunction with broadcast partners and state and local officials. Our pre-race will come on an hour earlier than scheduled. The race will start an hour earlier than scheduled at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you're up an hour earlier to catch it all at Daytona. Now on the back end, in the evening, 90% chance of rain. If we're racing the rain, that creates a sense of urgency, because you never know when this race is going to end, and a lot of that fuel saving could be out the window in the closing stage.
I think we've found the sweet spot. It's going to be just right.
Okay. Chris Buescher atop the practice chart early in final practice, as things get a little squirrely there. Welcome back to Daytona 500 final practice on FS1, presented by Toyota. 16 cars have been on track. Half Fords, half Chevys, one Toyota, Jimmy Johnson, who announced earlier today that next year's Daytona 500 would be his final Cup race. After retiring from full-time competition and racing IndyCar, competing in Cup part-time, racing here in this 500. He may do a few more between now and then, but he's already got the calendar marked. 2027, the 500, that'll be his last time in a Cup car.
Well, I like the fact that we're going to have a set in stone final time for Jimmy Johnson to end his Cup career, because he deserves whatever celebration goes along with that. And he had a really strange we got some smoke right there, guys.
I think it was from the ARCA practice.
Just a little speedy dry. Yeah. But Jimmy Johnson deserves to have the credit, a 7-time champion of the sport and everything that he goes with it. So he had a great career and wants to concentrate on making sure that his race teams are what they are. Larry?
Yeah, Kevin, Mike talked about this being the final super speedway practice of 2026. Josh Berry in that 21 car talked to his crew chief Miles Stanley, and they are absolutely making qualifying runs right now. The run you see him on right now, that was sticker tires. I said, Miles, what all are you trying? He said, Larry, I started making my list of stuff that I think can make our car go fast. Talladega back in the spring. In fact, he's going to make this run. They got another set of sticker tires laid out. They're going to make another mock qualifying run after this run.
That's interesting right there. I mean, you want to talk about looking into the future, preparing. I mean, yeah, our car is good for here. What can we learn for the rest of the year?
Well, and a lot of times you want to verify stuff that they think in CFD and all the other things that are happening. So to be able to do that on the racetrack, you just don't have any other opportunities. So you might as well verify it while you're here.
And notice the pack, how fast they're catching him. That's a timing thing. He needs a clean lap, so he's going to get that clean lap completed right there. But good job on the spotter and making sure that he took off at the right time before that pack caught him, gets that clean run that they're looking for, see if they had speed or not. That's the only way you can figure that out.
And that one car will absolutely help those guys. It may not be a lot, but it's definitely, if you can see them, that is helping with the draft.
Yes, and to your point, look at this. Last lap was the fastest lap, 47.19.
They're moving the second lane. You stay down. This is the first 5 and about a 3-car break to the last 2.
Jason Jarrett, Josh Berry's spotter in your rear there. Different agendas. Ryan Preece peeks out down to the bottom there behind Chris Buescher. Remember, Buescher's in a backup car, so I think the only one in that group that is Ross Chastain. I believe did they fix his, or did he go to a backup? We'll double check. Chastain is also a backup car. Thanks.
There it is. That's the one. I was looking at the other board, Kevin, but you could see there that was 2/10 faster as they were pulling up and catching that one. I was ahead of what you saw on the pylon run.
And you see William Byron about to blend, try to blend behind this group. You see Chase Elliott seeing how far. A lot of times, we talked about this yesterday, you'll see how far back you can get from a group and still be able to pull up, but
I think the 1 and the 9 was going to help him.
Well, I think the 1 backed up to him.
Yeah. Now they get the chance to run the Fords down.
Let's check with Jamie.
And Ryan Preece just went to the top of the board after 13 laps. He said on the radio just moments ago he's struggling to keep it wide open. He can't keep up with the crew, so he's working on that race car. Remember, he was damaged the other night in the duels as he's working with Brad Keselowski right now. Meanwhile, their teammate Chris Buescher, who just slid into second, told me before he got in his backup car, he said, just like Byron told me, his backup car feels just as good, feels the exact same as the primary. So his plan was to come out here, work together like they are. They expect to run about 20 laps and then park it.
Well, let me tell you something. If you can't hold it wide open in this little pack, you're in trouble.
Well, and like we talked about, the sun is one thing that's different. You're going to have that tomorrow to start this Daytona 500. But the other thing that is drastically different today is the wind. We've got a lot more wind than what we've had. And this particular racetrack, the direction that the wind blows can affect the way that the car handles on one end or the other drastically.
Usually it's getting into the corner. In other words, if that wind's blowing down, getting into turn 3, you can get loose in. You're going faster.
35 minutes to go in this, the final practice on drafting tracks for this entire season. Welcome back to Daytona Speed Weeks, presented by Advent Health. Goodyear blimp flying high over Daytona, and this view from the top of the grandstand and control tower.
You see that camera moving around up there. We were talking about the wind earlier.
You know what I saw? 10,000 tailgaters in that infield having fun. I went out for a walk today.
Have you met them all yet?
Most of them.
Pretty much, huh?
I met most of them. I met a Bill. You'll see him tomorrow. Bill and company he's the new king of this house.
Okay.
Yeah, he's having fun doing things right. Been here for a long time.
Wind out of the southwest.
Yeah,
going right across the track from the airport.
Another new feature with the graphics. It's going to come in handy in a lot of different weekends.
Yeah, and typically when the wind is blowing that direction, it makes you tight off of turn number 4, which is already a problem spot. But anything when the wind is blowing that direction towards the inside of the car makes the car want to be tighter because it's holding resistance against the inside of the car and not letting it cut back down the hill. So turn 4 already a tough spot. We saw a lot of that in the truck race last night. Most of our wrecks were from the center of turns 3 and 4 to the exit, and trucks just spinning out. So that definitely adds another element to that corner when it is blowing in this direction.
And it's always a deceiving thing there too, because they spin out, right? But they spin out because they were tight. That car, the front end takes off, and as soon as it finally loads up, you got a handful of wheel in it, and it snaps the thing out from underneath of you.
Outside and clear.
Both of the Colleague cars logging laps in this session. A.J. Allmendinger 12 laps, Ty Dillon 10.
And their Colleague teammates last night in the truck race had a great debut with those Ram trucks on the racetrack. Justin Haley led a lot of laps. Tony Stewart ultimately wound up having his night cut short with an accident, but
yeah, that was too bad. It happened early. I was really looking forward to seeing the old smoke show happen one more time. Never really got a chance to mount the charge that we were anticipating, but maybe he'll do it again someday. Who knows?
They're going to announce each week who is going to drive that guest truck or superstar truck. Ty Dillon has got the nod for the next race.
Well, there's one thing for certain. It has pumped new life into that truck series. They put a lot of money into it and a lot of activation, cool marketing strategy, and it really has pumped some new life into the truck series. A lot of big names that they're putting in them trucks too.
And for Colleague in general on the Cup side, it's going to make it difficult, you know, having some of the resources cut off for their Cup cars and having to do a lot of that on their own. It's going to make the Cup season a little bit challenging, but I
playing
think
the long game.
The
right?
long game on Ram and everything that they want to do with the sport, but it's a great addition having another manufacturer back in NASCAR racing.
Absolutely. We remind you again, the start of the Daytona 500 has been moved up 1 hour to 1:30 Eastern Time. Pre-race also moves up an hour, so set your DVR and make sure you're in front of the TV set tomorrow.
Look at there, Clint.
Hey, those quarter panels are no longer blank.
Try your
BJ
add-on for
McLeod.
size, fellas. We found ourselves a sponsor.
They have been calling and texting and searching for the last 36 hours since BJ McLeod made the 500, and they've got a couple of sponsors. Stones on the hood and repairablevehicles.com.
And that tells you the importance of what it is to make the Daytona 500. BJ came down here with nothing on the side of his car, makes the race, and winds up with it with a sponsor on your car. And that's what changes the direction of teams. And BJ has been so committed to this sport for such a long time, and I'm happy for him.
You knew that was going to happen. That's the power of the engine of NASCAR. I said it in that duel. If he makes this race, that hood will not be blank, and it'll be a good one to sponsor. He always, somehow, some way, puts that thing to the front.
Well, welcome to the horses playing checkers match.
What?
Right.
That's directed right at you.
This is a chess match.
No, checkers.
And you better pick a good horse. You probably will pick the wrong horse.
He can't play chess.
But I'll tell you one game BJ McLeod does not play, and that's the fuel-saving game.
I like that.
If you have fellows out there part throttle, he's not going to be one of them. He can put that thing right to the front. He's done it before.
Right. He goes to the whip on that horse, gets it right up to the front.
I told Logano last night, I said, hey, can I have some input on your strategy for this race? Because I know a way that you can make up some time. I said, just get your teammates to go all out. We're gonna lap them.
Oh, Kevin wants you to just go wide open and run out of gas.
Absolutely.
But he's going to be leading for 10 laps. I'm kind of with you. For a change, I'm on your side. You think if they could get it far enough ahead, you're thinking that they can just have a pit stop and still be leading.
Well,
I don't think so.
We'll keep it simple for you.
But I do think if somebody tries that, nobody else can just loaf around.
No, we saw that, a few years ago.
You never know about this race, though, guys. I mean, in all seriousness, one caution can throw that one way or another and take that whole equation out the window. We've seen it a lot of times here.
27 minutes to go in final practice at Daytona. Welcome back to Daytona 500 final practice on FS1, presented by Toyota. We're about midway through this session, Larry. What do we learn?
Well, I see Jimmy Johnson, the 84 car out there on the racetrack, and I know when you look at that car, you see the 84 car, Jimmy Johnson. I see a test car right now. He's the only Toyota driver making any laps today. They're making single car runs, and they are testing things, trying things out that maybe can be applied to the 42 or the 43 car, maybe this weekend or in the future. I'm watching them make changes to that car you would not be making in final practice. They're making changes. This last change was to the left front suspension. So I've always had the philosophy, if you're making a lap, it doesn't matter what capacity, you're learning something.
Okay. Let's check with Jamie for today's Toyota driver profile.
Yeah, Corey Heim down here, not practicing, obviously. You guys got some laps in yesterday. Congratulations, qualified for your first Daytona 500. What is the process like now to get ready for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, we had a really good run yesterday in practice. In the duel, I felt like we were on the conservative side, so I didn't really get much of a heat of the moment type experience, drafting and pushing and getting pushed, whatever it may be. So yesterday I actually had some opportunities with my Toyota teammates to push them, get pushed, and know what I need out of the car to handle that. And obviously, we all know everyone's very aggressive at the end of this race, so I want to be able to be in control and be a good teammate and whatever it may be that gets us a good finish tomorrow. So the mental side is just to relax and maybe see. It looks like there's pretty much no Toyotas out there now, so can't really gather much from this practice. But that just means we did everything we need to do to prepare for the race, and just very thankful for 2311 Robin Hood Toyota for putting a good car together for me this weekend, and definitely looking forward to it for sure.
Obviously, a lot of highlights for you last year. 12 race wins, including here at Daytona, Truck Series champion. But you're here and you're about to run in the Great American Race. Do you have a chance to just think about it, take it all in, and know what this moment is to be here at Daytona?
Yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag for me. It's it's such a surreal feeling. I feel like for most athletes or race car drivers in general, it all kind of sets in when the national anthem's going. And I don't know what it is about the national anthem, but you always just kind of feel all those emotions hit. So I'm sure that's when it'll all kind of sink in for sure. But at the same time, it's like we have a race to go out and succeed in and accomplish. So I'm cautiously nervous about the race, just to execute to the best of my ability. But it's also such a surreal feeling to be involved. So. Just so grateful that we were able to lock in on speed and not have to do it in the duel. Huge testament to the speed out of these Camrys at 2311 Racing. So all good things so far this weekend. Just got to go execute tomorrow.
Exactly. You guys have done a great job this week. We'll see you tomorrow. Mike.
Thanks, Jamie. Casey Mears has made some laps on track. He becomes the 18th driver to practice. Raced his way in, but had a lot of damage in that final lap in duel number 1. So they've had a lot of repairs to make to his number 66. There it is.
Yeah, and not quite as many people and resources to be able to repair that car. So just getting that car put back together and being able to go through inspection and make sure that you're not going to have something way out of tolerance and be able to make some laps again. Huge accomplishment for this team. But what a story. Casey Mears and the way that he got into this race with that really bold, brave move of just don't lift and see what happens as we got to the end of the qualifying race there. So great accomplishment for this team.
Another prime example of Daytona, and you're never out of it until till you are right there at the end. I mean, they did not have a chance. That wreck happened, wiped that car out, and I mean, never lifted, full send, and drove right into this thing. That was really cool to see. I agree.
Never thought we'd see a Hale Mellon move on a super speedway, but we did Thursday night.
It's amazing. It really showed how fast you go on this racetrack.
Yes.
Everybody's on the brakes and you're still wide open. I mean, it looked like he hit full afterburners running 100 mile an hour faster.
And you see the Fords back grouped up to go out on the racetrack. And Ford does these groups do a great job of coordinating. I'm sure the Chevys and Toyotas would do the same thing. Even if everybody doesn't want to keep practicing, if there's somebody that's still struggling with something, they'll coordinate enough cars to go back out on the racetrack and make it worthwhile.
All right, we're listening on Brad Kozlowski's team. Let's see what they're up to.
So what I was feeling right there, I think the high lane might be faster because the 3rd and 4th cars can't keep up with 3 and 4 on the bottom lane. Copy, saw that.
Now, what he was saying there is interesting too, and this is what I think the Fords do better than the others. Yes, they work together, and all that is valid, Kevin, but I've always explained this as like a links in a chain. You cannot let the chain links get loose because then it starts slinking back and forth. They keep the chain tight all the way through. You see how that 22 drove to the 6 and it's driving away from them? There's the gap in the chains and it starts getting out of whack. Watch these guys collectively get back together and work as one, and when those links in the chain stay tight, the lap time goes way up, a lot faster.
"19 minutes to go in this final practice session at Daytona. This afternoon, the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series has their season opener on the CW, 5 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, The Daytona 500 is on Fox. New time, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Everything is moved up 1 hour tomorrow because of the threat of evening rain. 16 minutes to go in this final practice. And a group of Fords still out there and still working hard.
Yeah, and you know they're working on a lot of things during this practice, but just to give you an example of some of the choices, you see Brad has his left side mirror right here. You see Joey has his left side mirror up there. So what that does when it's high like it is on Joey's car, it's a little less drag, but the driver has to look up and be comfortable with that mirror. On Brad's car, you put it low, and when you put it low, it creates more downforce and a little more drag on the race car. Now, sometimes the drivers will say, no, I don't want my mirror high because I can't see out of it and feel like it's more important. But we're talking about 1-2 counts of drag on stuff like this. And these are the decisions of things that you have to make on your car. How many little things like that do you want to take drag out of the race car that will make it go faster, and what will you sacrifice for it? Larry?
Yeah, Kevin, I'm here with A.J. Allmendinger. A.J., I know you didn't get to turn any laps yesterday. They were making repairs to the 16 car. I want to know how the car is, but how is the left wrist? A lot less cast on it today.
I was mostly just...
Now, as we told you at the top of the show, half the field has chosen not to participate in this practice. I talked to pole sitter Kyle Busch last evening, and he said, you know, yesterday we went through our entire checklist. Our Chevys, we all went out as a group. I ran in the front, I ran in the middle, I ran in the back, I worked my way back to the front. He said, we checked all the boxes. We're ready for the race. Let's go. So they are not on track today.
And sometimes you just get nervous. You just, especially in Kyle Busch's position of being on the pole for the 500, and knowing that if something happens, you're not going to be on the pole and you're going to make your day way harder. So there's a balance in what you can learn and how much risk you want to take. But I've always been of the opinion, like Larry is, if the racetrack is green, let's go out there and learn something, whether it's on pit road, getting onto pit road, making your car faster, anything that you can get an advantage on everybody is something you want to take advantage of.
Now, as that shot changed, you could hear the difference in RPM between Jimmy Johnson's car running by itself and a group of cars all out there together. Denny, what's he fishing for? Another win? Tomorrow is the biggest day in stock car racing, and it's all on Fox. 1 hour earlier than originally scheduled. Pre-race 11:30 Eastern. And the Daytona 500 tomorrow on Fox, 1:30 Eastern Time. Threat of evening rain has pushed us up 1 hour. So make your plans. Be in front of the TV set. Strap in and hold on for 500 miles of excitement. Someone will hoist the Harley Earl Trophy.
Didn't know if you were going to get stuck, Casey, and he ended up transferring. Here's a look back. Have you watched this?
Yeah, I've watched it probably 50, 60 times. You know, I hadn't been in that position. I would have had no idea that we would be where we're sitting right now. And you know, the seas kind of parted for us, and we took advantage of it. I knew, you know, when that lane opened up high and I had a little bit of momentum, it was going to take a miracle to make it. But I knew I had a clear lane. So I was just told myself I'm going to stay in it no matter what happens here and see what happens. And yeah, here we are. Took a risk and then we made it. So couldn't be more proud of everybody. You know, all these guys worked really, really hard. Like you guys said, you know, this car was pretty cut up yesterday. And not only did they have to replace parts, they had to cut parts off another car and then rebuild this car. So the guys put in a lot of work. They did a good job. We went out there, the car, you know, no leaks. Everything's flawless so far. So we'll see how it goes.
It's the little team that could. I mean, there's maybe 10 guys part of this team. Like you said, they did a great job putting it back together. But for tomorrow's race, how much do you rely on your experience to overcome so many of the unknowns?
Well, I'd like to think I contribute. You know, I mean, I've gotten to do this quite a while. There was a stint there for about 4 years, but I had the best average on the super speedways as far as finishes go, and obviously there's a lot of luck that goes on with that. But you know, I like to try to think that I'm at least bringing something to the program, and it feels good to be here. I know that the car's good enough to have a decent result, and it's going to be a matter of staying clean. One thing I would like to say regarding last night, with the NASCAR officials coming over so quickly when I was in the grass and plugging that thing in and getting it aired up so I could get off the grass was pretty amazing. So I appreciate their efforts as well, and it's neat to see that they've come up with a solid solution for that problem.
Great to see you back in here. Casey Mears, he's got to run to the airport, Mike. He has to go pick up his wife. She just landed.
Now there's heritage right there. Mears gang on that shoulder, Kevin.
I'm from Bakersfield, California, and the Mears gang where I grew up, they were the race car drivers that you idolized. And you know, Casey's father, you know, Roger, Rick Mears, Roger Jr., and, you know, that's just something for me that kind of hits home and has so much history in that part of the country for us as racers. So great to see another Mears in the Daytona 500, another appearance by a Mears in the Daytona 500.
Yep, third generation star right there. Closing in on 500 career starts in NASCAR's National Series. All right, 6 minutes to go in final practice at Daytona.
I'm happy for him because when you start out the year the way they ended it, which is like without the speed, that's tough, right? Yeah. You just feel like it's another year of, oh man, here we go again. So starting out on the right foot.
You know, I think that on the flip side of that, you know, you have to not spin out, you have to not wreck, and when that wasn't happening, they were making mistakes on pit road. So they have a lot to clean up.
Yeah, it's not one thing.
But what happens is you get in those positions to where you're somewhat desperate, and you know the day is going good, and you want to make it better, and then you push that much too hard, and you wind up spun around backwards.
Now that's Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour. You can listen to the podcast on your favorite platform. But how was it doing the show in front of a live crowd here in Daytona?
It felt like the old days where you had that live audience, and we had a great crowd show up. So it was fun to be able to go back out in front of the racetrack, in front of the fans, and be able to have some fun. So we had a great show, and hopefully we can do that some more.
Jimmy Johnson, the lone car on track in these last 3 minutes of practice. Let's check with Larry.
They're throwing to me here, so I guess I'm about to jump right in here. You know what, Joey? You'd be my kind of driver. You love the practice. And I used to love to see that race car on practice. How is this 22 car?
There's not many crew chiefs that actually like seeing their car in a draft the day before the Daytona 500, but I just want to keep making it better. All year long, we have a limited amount of practice, and if we can get to work on our car a little bit more, make it a little bit better, or at least try, why wouldn't you? You know, as long as you're around smart drivers and you do things in a safe way, I think it makes sense. So, yeah, that's Paul's way of doing it too. So I'm excited about that. I'm not going to get beat by someone working harder than me. At least I can check that box.
I apologize for busting the meeting, but Mike and Joy threw to me, and I didn't have no choice.
It's okay. I know you love doing that too.
There you go, Mike. I think this 22 team, they're ready to go.
They seem pretty loose and pretty excited about Sunday. And why not? Boy, they've been good on these drafting tracks. Each of the last 12 seasons, Team Penske has won at least one of the drafting races and led the most laps at drafting tracks in the last 4 years. 2 of the last 4 have gone to those Team Penske Mustangs.
Well, we know that Doug Yates and the Yates family, they basically took the super speedway engine programs and taught everybody how to do this. But in the modern day of where we are right now, really Team Penske and Ford have changed the super speedway game and how it functions and how you operate. So these guys never want to quit learning, and they always want to try to figure something else out, and they're continuing to do that, and that's why they're good at it.
Yes.
Jamie?
Just talking to Ryan Preece here, finished with practice. I was listening to you and you were saying you were wide open, but you were having a hard time keeping up with the others. And I just asked you, and I'll ask you again, is that something they can adjust and fix for tomorrow?
Well, I know they're going to do everything they possibly can, that's for sure. And the Viva Towels Kroger Ford Mustang it was really fast on Thursday. So to have to replace the nose, at least they have some notes, and maybe we can adjust on it. But yeah, it was pretty tough. It's important when you're that 5th, 4th car to keep those guys racked to make speed. And you know, we were definitely able to do that on Thursday, and just struggled a little bit there. But you know, it's not from a lack of trying, and I know these guys are going to do everything they have to make sure that we're really fast tomorrow.
I know these guys had a lot of work to fix this car, but how does it feel compared to the other night when it was so stellar?
Got a little bit of work to do. Like, you know, I mean, it's difficult right now because it's obviously hot. I'm curious because I think handling's probably going to be a little bit more of an issue than we all think, and yeah, I don't know. You know, there's a lot of things that are running through my mind right now, but yeah, you know, I feel like one thing I do know is the Fords are fast, and we'll try to be one of those guys that are up front.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Jamie. Well, Ryan's luck at Daytona has had him up front, but also upside down. Not once, but twice. Bouncing through the grass, flying through the air, ending up on his lid on the asphalt. There were Christmas time memes hoping for Preece on Earth during Daytona Speed Week, and not up in the air. Maybe the Embry-Riddle folks will give him a flying certificate. I don't know. But he'll be a threat on Sunday. Larry?
Yeah, Mike, you were talking about Doug Yates, and I think it's very well known. Doug Yates and Robert Yates made a huge impact on my career personally and professionally. And with Doug Yates working for his dad, Robert Yates and Robert Yates Racing, and now building engines at Roush Yates, the next time a Ford goes to victory lane, either in Cup, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, or the Craftsman Truck Series, Doug Yates has his handprint. The next win will be his 450th trip to victory lane.
Wow. He was honored by Edsel Ford in the media center earlier this week with the Ford Spirit of Racing Award.
It takes literally everything to go right to be a Daytona 500 winner.
Tough race, you know, hard to have everything go your way for 500 miles, but you have to have a lot of things go your way, certainly as you get in those closing laps. I think we've seen the chaos.
I've been oh so close so many times. I've finished second, third, fourth, whatever, you name it, I probably finished there.
You got to have a mistake-free race. It's just very, very hard to overcome the track position if you lose it at any stage of that race.
Yeah, hopefully I can tell you at the end of this year what it takes to be a Daytona 500 winner.
One of the hardest races anywhere to win.
It really is, and we've seen some of our sport's greatest drivers like Tony Stewart and Mark Martin never win this race. And you know, you come down here with the best prepared cars that you're going to have, with the most time to prepare them, and everybody knows the significance of this race and how important it is to win.
Most all the champions that we have right now in the present day without a win, but a couple of them. So yeah, I know these guys are hungry, and I do believe a prediction for old Clint is one of those champions is going to add their name to that list.
I'm going to agree with you on that.
See, Mike, we're coming around.
Up. Welcome back to Daytona. Final practice is complete. We're going to show you the starting grid and give you a few statistics to chew on here. 1 out of every 4 Daytona 500s has been won from the front row. Almost half of them from the top 5. And look at this top 10. 2/3 of the Daytona 500 winners have come from a top 10 start.
Well, Michael McDowell's won the Daytona 500. Joey Logano's won the Daytona 500. Austin Dillon and the rest of those guys are looking for their first win. I think based upon what we've seen so far, I think starting 6th there, Carson Hocevar could be one of those surprises if you're looking for somebody as an underdog.
Drivers 11th through 20th starting spot have won 14 of the 67 500s.
I was impressed with John Hunter Nemechek in that first duel. He did a good job. He was the only Toyota basically out there and did a great job. But Ricky Stenhouse Jr., never sleep on him. And Ryan Preece, man, start the year off right. Can we keep this momentum going?
Only 7 times has the 500 been won from this group of cars.
Well, this field is stacked, and I think the manufacturers are spread out. But when you look at Denny Hamlin and Alex Bowman, definitely have to put those guys on your list of possibilities.
Bubba Wallace, you know he's going to be up there. Great super speedway racer.
Now William Byron in a backup car starts 39th. Hey, that's where Matt Kenseth won from in 2009. So if you're in it, you can win it.
Jimmy Johnson finished 3rd here. He's won this thing. He knows how to get the job done. Austin Cindric, another winner.
Well, that last part of the field right there with Chris Buescher, William Byron, Austin Cindric, lots of cars that can make their way from the back of the field that are going to be pushing the envelope to get themselves some track position early.
So tomorrow on Fox, NASCAR Race Day, new time, 11:30 a.m. The Daytona 500 moved up 1 hour to 1:30 p.m. tomorrow. Coming up next, college basketball with Colorado taking on BYU. We'll see you tomorrow for the Great American Race.